Hi, I'm Suraj again. Today we are very excited to introduce you with one of the policemen of Canada. His name is Ikram Zahid. So let's hear from Ikram Zahid. Again, welcome to India.
Thank you very much.
Ikram, what we want to know from you is, first of all, in order to become a cop in Canada, what is the minimum educational qualification?
There's numerous requirements to becoming a police officer in Canada, and that varies from province to province. But in the province of Ontario, where I work, in terms of education, the minimum is having completed grade 12, which is high school. Mm-hmm. Thereafter, if you choose to pursue further education, that will definitely boost your resume, and that's something I would highly recommend as well. Mm-hmm. Looking at post-secondary education.
Okay, so there is nothing as such that you have to be a graduate and that will get you promoted. I mean, is there anything as such or not required?
In terms of the application process, the bare minimum is the high school. Mm-hmm. If you did pursue a degree or a master's or even a higher, that may assist with potential promotions, but that isn't required for entry to become a police officer.
Okay, so it means that in India you have to be you need to have a certificate of class 12, and that will make you eligible to apply for a policeman in Canada. My next question would be, what would be the salary range of a policeman in Canada?
The salary range varies throughout the country, but in Ontario, it's close to just under $100,000 Canadian, and that's the base salary. A brand new officer having just only 1 to 3 years of experience will have a slightly lesser salary, and that increases over 3 years to the point where they reach their full base salary, which is just under $100,000.
Okay, so who can apply for policemen? Who are eligible to apply for a policeman? Let's say, whether he needs to have a temporary resident visa or, what are the requirements?
In terms of visa, the two requirements are either Canadian citizenship, mm-hmm. or having obtained permanent residency in Canada.
Okay, so you need to either have a permanent resident visa or you, the citizen of Canada, you can apply for this position. Can you talk about some benefits of a policeman in Canada?
In terms of benefits, are you referring to the actual benefits we get through work?
Yeah.
There's numerous benefits that we receive, such as a dental plan, coverage for prescription medication. There's also other holistic coverage such as massage therapy, chiropractic. There's also a mental health component as well. If you require any type of psychological assistance, that's also granted.
Okay.
So it's quite comprehensive, and it comes in handy, and those benefits are also extended towards my spouse, and if we had any dependents such as children, they would be covered as well under that.
All right. And how safe is Canada?
Canada's very safe. I've lived there for 30 years now.
Oh.
And it's very safe. It's whether you're male or female, any time of the day is pretty safe to be out and about.
I heard, the policemen over there, they have microphones, that they've been watched, something like that?
That depends on the police service. A few services within Ontario utilize microphones on their person, and some of the services also have cameras in their police cars. That helps to build stronger trust between the public and the police, mm-hmm. that there would be no wrongdoing. But not every service utilizes that.
Yeah, that's quite safe for a public. So, being a policeman, what do you do during your vacation?
Well, I'm very fortunate that I currently receive about 4 weeks leave. As a junior officer, you'll start off with 2 weeks, and your leaves builds up over time as you gain experience within your relative police service. But within my 4 weeks, I enjoy traveling. I try to travel as much as I can throughout the world and within Canada. I enjoy fishing as well, so that's one thing. I enjoy being outdoors.
And I think you own a boat.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm very.
Right.
I definitely like being out on the waters, and Ontario has thousands of lakes within the province, so that is definitely my playground within Ontario.
I think you have to take a ticket if you want to go for fishing, something like that.
For fishing,
Yeah.
well, in Ontario, if you want to fish or hunt, you need to acquire a license, and that's pretty much it. Once you have that license, and you're playing within the rules of that specific season, you're free to travel within the province and fish. And there's certain rules in place as to how many fish you can catch from a certain lake or certain water body and whatnot. But it's pretty easy. Everything's laid out in a manual that's distributed if you're into fishing.
Okay. And for how long you have been in the service?
I've been employed with my service now for about 10 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah,
it's-
time flies.
Yeah, it's been fun. It really has been fun. It's something that I've enjoyed. I've loved every day of it.
You mentioned that you have certain agencies, and for them, the the criteria to apply remains the same, or every city has the different criterias?
From what I've seen, I haven't been able to look at all of the services, but they all share common requirements, such as being a minimum of 18 years of age, having completed grade 12 education.
18 years of age?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And what is the maximum?
There is no maximum. We also hire new recruits that are well into their 40s and 50s.
Oh.
So it's never too late to be a police officer in Ontario, and I would think Canada as well.
And what about the physical test?
There are physical tests that you have to pass. The tests themselves have changed since I got hired, but there's a physical component, there's a psychological component, and there's also a component that tests your ability to problem solve, basic problem solving skills.
I heard, for 4 years there was no hiring. So does that affect the country?
With certain police services in Ontario, there was a bit of a hiring freeze. Right now, it's a lot of the major police services are definitely hiring. They're looking to fill the ranks, and it definitely helps if you have other skills, such as a language skill. If you speak a certain language, that's something.
Okay, so let's say if I'm Canadian and I'm gonna get a certain advantage that I speak Hindi.
It's definitely an asset because
right.
Ontario is very diverse. There's people from all over the world that call Ontario home, and Canada as well. Canada in general, it's home to many types of people from all over the world. So speaking Hindi, I think, would come in handy because, like for example, if I ever come across somebody that only speaks Hindi and I only speak English, I would call upon someone like yourself to help me with assisting that member of the public.
And there must be lots of jobs vacancy available in your department, in police.
In policing right now, from what I personally seen, yes, there's a lot of demand for people to apply and to fill those ranks, and specifically within, I think, the Greater Toronto area. There's lots of police services that make up that part of Southern Ontario that are looking for people.
Yeah, you heard from the policeman itself that in Canada, jobs are available. So if you want to become a policeman, you can contact Overseas Point, and we will help you. Again, last question. Why Canada?
Canada really is a beautiful place to be. It's a place where you're free to be who you want to be. There's many opportunities. Everybody's pretty much equal, and
Okay, equal.
it truly is. Canada really is your oyster to all these. You know that saying, "The world is your oyster." Canada is your oyster. There's many opportunities there.
Okay. So there is no discrimination, and you have a certain policies, you have systems to control.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Now you heard from the policeman that how safe is Canada. If you, again, if you want to make a career as a policeman, you can. And the minimum education qualification, as you are aware, that you have to be +2, then that'll be, you need to have a certificate of class 12, and the minimum age will be 18 years. There will be a physical test, and I think that physical test is not that tough.
Well, for me, it wasn't tough. That's why I got hired, I guess. But
Okay.
but overall, there's with I think most police services in Ontario, they will even provide coaching for you. They will advise you of the actual components that make up the physical test, and they'll guide you and help
Okay.
you to pass that test. Right? Most agencies are looking to help potential candidates with passing the application process.
Okay. Ikram, we understand, on your vacation, on your busy schedule, you give us this time, and of course it's for a good cause, for the people of Manipur. We thank you for your time, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you.